Can you say girls rock?
Girls rock.
Perfect. Well done.
Mayday, bitches. Girls rock.
Broadcast.
Hello and welcome to the broadcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Now go.
Is that you, Daddy?
Yes, it is.
We're off to a running start here.
All right, buddy, come on.
Alex was sitting with me for a little while Daddy finished band practice. You have anything you want to say?
Why, yes.
Why, yes? Okay, well, what is that?
I know.
What?
I don't know.
You don't know. Alex has started taking to spelling some of his answers out.
Ooh, very impressive.
Because we're learning our sight words. Pre-K, right? Okay, well, we're focused on this very interesting headphones. We also spent the evening watching YouTube videos on how to make a Muppet.
Yep.
Yep. What's your Muppet going to be made out of? Ooh, you got to talk faster than that. People are falling asleep here.
Fabric.
Fabric?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of fabric?
Pink fabric.
A sock. Daddy's sock. That's his puppet. I'm sorry, there's a difference between a Muppet and a puppet. We had a gateway drug, which was the sock puppet that we're working on.
Oh.
I'll have to post a picture so people can see when it's done.
Yep.
Yes, please. I would love to see it.
Is there anything else you want to tell everybody before you go?
Bye-bye.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
All right, buddy. Have a good night, okay?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Sweet dreams.
Toodles.
Toodles.
All right. Love you. Good night. Mwah. All right. All right. Go with Daddy. All right.
Bye.
He was so chatty until we hit record, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, I didn't want a record of what I had to say."
It's like putting the camera on and I stopped doing the cute thing.
Exactly. Anyways, hello.
Hello.
Zachary is still on his third week of track out, so he is at Jack and Cindy's from tonight until Thursday afternoon. So
Nice.
yeah, he was like, "I'll see you on Thursday," and I was like, "No, you have a baseball game tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow." And you could tell he was kind of like, "Oh, I thought I had like a mom-free week again." Not
Wait,
really.
what's track out?
So when you go to year-round school here, it's 9 weeks on and 3 weeks off. And the school calendar is broken up into 3 different tracks. Track 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you're on your 3-week break, it's called track out because the other 3 are in school.
Right. Forgot the terminology. But
Yeah.
That makes sense. And that's great. Year-round school is
I love
great.
it. I know it's tough.
Great for learning, too. So you don't just forget everything over the summer.
It truly is. And, like,
Pedagogically sound.
yes, like it's great for learning, working parents. I know that it's really tough for people who come from the north or from somewhere else where they're just like, "What? No summer break? I had a summer break. I don't like this." And I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" Like,
If I were a teacher, I would have a hard time with it for that reason. But
but you get paid all year round.
Right.
Well,
Whereas
everybody else that
in
works.
North Carolina, I know this, that teachers don't get paid for that summer vacation months unless they do like the
wow.
extra help camps.
Summer school.
Summer school. Thank you.
Which I'm sure they probably call it something else at this point.
No, I think it is summer classes because Zachary's second grade teacher was telling us how, because we had I don't know, some like end of the year conference thing, and we asked her about her. I don't know, we just make small talk, and she was mentioning how she was going to have just the 1 week off, and then she was going to be teaching the summer school classes for extra money in between. So cool.
Interesting.
Damn.
I know. I get really mad. I've really been able to, since 2021, harness my... No, really kidding. Since I started medicating myself on January 1st, 2022, I've gotten a lot better about not letting internet stuff bother me. Gray hair growth has slowed down as well, so correlation, causation, not sure, but whatever. I'd like to think that they're directly caused, but where's going with this is... I've allowed internet things like kind of not get to me anymore, but I get really mad still whenever I see people on like local news or next door screaming about how if teachers wanted to get paid year round, then they should get a job where they work year round. And I want to be like, you are a fucking monster. If you think that, stop and check yourself, because you are a fucking monster. The end.
And go be a teacher for a couple of years.
What?
But also,
And go be a teacher.
Yeah, go be a teacher then.
Try that out.
because it's like you don't realize how much like they're working outside of the school.
Exactly.
So like it is the amount of hours of a full year, like the rest of us. It's
But
just
their workday ends at 3, right?
Yeah,
it's just
right.
broken up differently.
Talk to
There's a lot more Saturdays.
Crack of dawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also like, pay out of your pocket to, like furnish your classroom.
Right, you pay out of your pocket to do that. You
Right.
and in most states still, like North Carolina even, they raised, oh my god, it was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, they did a bump in starting salary for teachers, but it's still not that much for the amount of work that they do.
You know.
Well, I am very excited to be voting in North Carolina.
I'm so excited.
I got in between last week and this week, I also got a thing in the mail that it felt like the title wasn't as like sort of neutral. It was like justice is on the ballot, and then it's like,
Oh, you got the same thing I did that I sent the picture of. We got our voter guide.
strange thing for a nonpartisan thing to put, like if it's just information simply about. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. I also got our absentee ballots and opened them and saw yes, I either have to have them signed by 2 fucking witnesses
Please
or
let
get
me
notarized.
notarize
And I'm
it.
like, I don't know 2 fucking people.
Let me notarize it. I'm so excited. You could be my
I don't
4th
know what to
do since I got it in April.
Anyway, but like, I shouldn't have to drive to Raleigh to get it fucking notarized. Like, it's so interesting because like, you hear about like all these states that are, making it more difficult for people to vote. And it was just sort of like intellectually, I was like, yeah, that's really bad. And like, we shouldn't do that. But like, then when you go someplace where it's like, oh, it's not going to stop me from voting, obviously. But like, I could see how there are some people that probably wouldn't go through the trouble of it.
Oh, yeah.
Just because, and it's just make voting as easy as possible. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Oh, so I'm very annoyed about that. And I think, I think I would just rather maybe we'll try to do like the early voting. Can we like surrender our ballot to them and just fucking early vote in person? Because that's going to be easier than going to like a bank or some shit to get our goddamn ballots notarized. No, I mean, we would be like, I could make an appointment at a bank and go to but it's just like, why do I have to get everything notarized in North Carolina? So I would rather just go in person. If I'm going to have to go somewhere physically, I would rather just then like go vote.
Early voting truly is easy in this state. Like, it was in 2020. It's because you can go to any polling place. Like, it doesn't have to be your district, like on the day of. And that does make it easier. And there are sites that will give you the wait times of the polling district, the polling stations in your area, so you can refresh them every so often. Because that's what we did in 2020. We kept refreshing.
Wait,
That's cool.
Well, in 2020 there were waits, but that's just also.
I've also never lived in a place where I had to wait in line. There's never been a line when I've
Well,
I don't know if it's like small town living or what, because like in Montana I never had to wait, and my polling place was a block away at my middle school, and in Monterey I never had to wait. And I don't know if it was just that there were more polling places for fewer people, or I mean mathematically that would be logical, but I don't know, like.
And the amount of polling locations, like I've had various experiences in the various places I've lived across New York where there's been voting times where I've waited hours, and then there's been times where I just walk on in and drop my ballot and it's done. So
Yeah.
I think it just depends on
I
where
agree.
your voting location is, how populated, how many people voted early, like, yeah, how many voting stations they can fit into the location. I feel like there's just so many different factors that.
Yeah.
that-
Agreed.
Also, this past a couple days ago, I was invited to join the NRA. So it's
Ew.
been a couple of days.
Weird.
Cool.
Did
Yeah,
Was
from
it just like spam mail? Did they know you?
no, it was an actual person that I met at this running club, and I kind of knew from stuff that she had said the first time that she was like into that. And I was telling Frank, like, when I didn't say anything in response, like I didn't know like how to respond, and even when like everyone tells me about the church they go to and all this and that, it's like, do I answer like, oh cool, I'm an atheist? Like it feels like a little too aggressive, but also if they're comfortable enough to like be telling me about their religion, then why shouldn't I be? So anyway,
I know it's such an uncomfortable like feeling. I get it.
Yeah. So anyway, like mentions were made of the NRA like last week, and I didn't say anything. And then this week it came up again, and she's a very nice lady, and she's like, "Oh, if you're interested," like, and I was like, "Oh, well, I appreciate the thought, but I'm actually really staunchly anti-gun, so that's not going to work."
You shared some information about you, and now I'm going to share some information about me.
And she was like super nice about it. She was like, "Oh, I hope you don't hold it against me." Which Frank was like, "See, she knows it's wrong if she said that." It's like, well, I don't know if that's whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I am officially no longer in Kansas.
No, you are not. But you're in a run club, and you had your first choir performance this weekend. How did it go?
It was great. We made people cry. It was wonderful.
Oh, do you have any video?
No, so the director like did record it, and he's gonna like put it together and stuff, but they don't have the rights to put it online or anything. So I'll have maybe like a link that I could share with you ladies.
Yeah, I just
it's
want to
like
see
I
you
said,
perform.
Yeah, no, it was really, really, really moving, really, really good, really. But the piece itself is again about a man whose wife died of cancer, and it's like their whole story from meeting and falling in love, having kids, getting cancer, dying. So it's.
I understand the crying
heady.
now.
Yeah, and it was like hard to rehearse, honestly, and I was afraid that it would be like really hard to perform, but I don't know, somehow like I was able to steel myself for the performance. But then I like heard people like sniffling in the audience, and I was like we're being effective, like
keep going,
we're doing the thing, like that's what it's supposed, yeah. So it was really good.
Well, I hope I can make it to your next one.
Yeah, next one will be a Christmas concert.
Oh, the best.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like
yay.
a Christmas concert.
Yeah,
Do you know what date?
December 10th.
All right.
It's going to be here before we know it.
It really is. Yeah.
Hold, please. I'm going into my phone, and I'm going to put this in there. I don't think I have anything on December 10th. Oh, wait, what time is it? It's not at like 11 o'clock in the morning, right?
No, it's at 7:30 p.m.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I got to see that fucking Disney on Ice shit on December 10th, but that's at 10:30 a.m. Okay.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. It's also Eddie's birthday. Good times. What a day. And it was a day
I
Jay...
knew that date sounded familiar.
Yeah. It was a day that
Other
Jay...
than, a date that happens every year.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the day that Jay finally graduated from college after like 8 years of it.
Nice.
Undergrad.
Very important day. It's a very important day.
I remember that day. Anyway, so next week is our annual Zoom Halloween costume party. We will be recording on Tuesday, October 25th. That will be at 9 o'clock because that was what the poll said. I'm sorry, Shandy.
That's okay.
It was by...
You all the more time to put your costume together.
That's true.
I finally figured out what it's going to be,
Ooh.
Ooh.
but I won't say anymore.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
I mean, it's nothing to get super excited about, but
Nope, too late. Already super excited. Too late.
I'm excited because I don't even know what we're going to do yet. And this is stressing me out because it's October 17th, and usually I have my costume by now.
Yeah.
So, taking suggestions.
That's what Halloween is really fun, but it's also kind of stressful.
It's so stressful.
Yeah.
Because I never know what to be, and then I feel like all stressed out that I've got to like think of something clever and
Yes.
then I just kind of, melt in front of under the pressure. And then so this year I'm just going with a vibe. I'm warning you all right now, it's not so much a costume as it's going to be just a vibe.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it too.
Yeah. I can't.
Again, still better.
Too much pressure.
Still better than, me. We just nothing.
Yeah, but
I'm sure
this is your ish. You'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I hope I figure it out.
You will.
You will.
Okay. So speaking of Halloween, tonight is the night that we are going to be discussing Halloween movies.
Yes.
Woo. Grab your flashlights and your candy corn. Let's talk about Halloween movies.
So we both watched Hocus Pocus. All three of us watched Hocus Pocus and Beetlejuice. I watched the Munsters. It was fucking terrible. It was so awful. It was a struggle to get through.
Really?
Yes.
like a new Munsters or like
yes, 2022.
Okay.
Because it was Rob Zombie. Zombie's The Munsters on Netflix.
Right.
It wasn't that it was terrible. It was terrible. But it wasn't that it was terrible. It was boring. It was so boring. Like, spoiler alert. Just get this one out of the way. So, Herman Munster gets... Lily is dating. Herman Munster gets created in a lab. They fall in love, blah, 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 blah. The brother tricks Herman into signing over the castle. I think this is possibly maybe origin story like canon, I don't know. But, there's never any repercussions to that. They just pick up and move to America and get rich there. And that's it. There's no, struggle. There's no climax. No anything. It's just, very, boring. And I was like, why is this movie an hour and 50 minutes long, and how can I make it stop? But then I was like, well, maybe it'll get better. And then I just thought, well, you've committed this far. Just watch the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
So, but the guy that plays Grandpa is Doc Arts from Lost, and Jorge Garcia's in it from Lost. So there's that connection. Anybody out there listening? Anyway. Cool. I don't really recommend. I don't even think, it's a thing that kids would like. It's not even, a dumb, rated G or PG movie. It was just boring. So, yeah. The end. What do we want to start with? Beetlejuice or Hocus Pocus 2?
Oh, that's tough.
Beetlejuice.
All right.
Nice.
Amanda, was this your first time seeing Beetlejuice, the movie?
It was.
Wow.
I know. Daniel was surprised too. I was a real scaredy cat as a kid. The shrunken head and I saw enough of it to be like, no, too scary. Not going to do it. It's not that scary. I was a very scared child.
What did you think?
The shrunken head stuck out to me as a kid too, and now I'm wondering if that was some of the inspiration for those stupid shrunken heads in Harry Potter.
I actually had the exact same thought. Oh my god, I did too.
I had not had that thought, but very clever, guys.
I literally wrote that down. Shrunken Heads, Harry Potter. That's so funny.
I saw Beetlejuice when I was little, and I was scared of it too, but also kind of intrigued. And I was too young to know who Tim Burton was, so I didn't carry that with me into adulthood. So I literally did not know it was a Tim Burton film when I started it, the other day. It didn't even register because I couldn't really remember how it ended. There's the key scenes that you remember, but anyway. So when I saw that and then watching the movie, it was obviously this is Tim Burton, so obviously, painfully obviously. But but the cast.
I love it. Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder,
good.
Young Winona Ryder,
the principal from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, that's right.
Also, Alec Baldwin in that very short period of time when he was legitimately attractive.
Yeah, very thin, very handsome.
Yeah. I know. When Jay wanted to watch it with me, but he did watch this with me. I'm sorry, it was Hocus Pocus 2 that he didn't get to watch with me. But Alec Baldwin comes on screen and he's like, man, I always forget, this is the one or two films where he's legitimately that's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Great
so good.
cast,
I
though.
did- Great
Gina
cast.
Davis.
Gina Davis. How could we
yeah.
not even mention her?
I know. I love her.
I know.
No, it was really fun. So from 1988, yeah. So I was thinking, like, I don't know when I saw it. I mean, obviously I didn't see it when I was 4, but that's when it came out. Was when we were 4. I mean, it's very 80s. Like, they're smoking at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was wild. Oh, Gabby. And like my question throughout the whole thing is, why didn't they read the fucking manual? Like, just read the manual.
Entitled white
dead.
people from Connecticut.
You're dead. What else do you have to do? Read the manual. Are you not curious about like the fact that you're dead and this is the only information that you can get? But yeah.
Well, in their defense, they did try to read the manual, and they seem to have
tried.
gotten bored and or confused.
They
Yeah.
did get confused. But still, like, you could just like slog through it. Yeah.
I want to hear what Amanda has to say when you're done, Shandy, about your first viewing experience. Because just like how you guys were excited my Hocus Pocus opinion last year, I'm excited how a grown-up person views Beetlejuice as a grown-up person for the first time.
Yes.
And whether or not it's like, childhood bias or Robin Thicke, Miley Cyrus gyrating bias, or remember when he wore that fucking Beetlejuice suit when they did that duet on MTV Music Awards?
She did. She wore the Beetlejuice suit.
Was it her? I know one of them wore the Beetlejuice
It was the
suit.
VMAs one year, I feel like.
Okay.
It was like a VMA when we were like a little too old to like be really aware of the VMAs.
It was like the VMAs like 2012, 2013 era. Because it was right before Zach was born, if I remember correctly. But anyway, or does it hold up like for a grown-up to watch it the first time?
It's not like pretty creepy. Like Beetlejuice himself is like trying to,
Yeah.
grabbing women, trying to look under their skirts, trying to marry a minor.
Yeah, it's
Not
kind of
great.
like he was doing his best Bill Murray as a old person. In case anybody doesn't know, Bill Murray just paid out $100,000 to some chick for sexually assaulting her on the set of a Aziz Ansari movie back in the springtime.
Jeez. And Z's just can't get out of his own way, huh?
And speaking of Gina Davis, she revealed how he also abused her on the set of a film in the late 90s, late 80s, something like that. And then what's been trending on Twitter is this video has been going around of them doing a talk show, and she's so clearly uncomfortable, and he keeps like purposely touching her just to aggravate her.
Oh.
It's so gross. Anyway, speaking of our hero, Gina Davis. Anyway, sorry. I'll stop talking now. I'm going to drink my mimosa.
I do have to say I'm a little bit confused about how the rules of Beetlejuice work.
Yeah, say his name 3 times.
Right. You say his name 3 times and he comes into like your world. You say his name 3 times again and he goes back into the model. You say home 3 times and you get yourself out of the model. It was a little bit like, I'm not sure what the rules 100% are. You say his name twice and then stop yourself from saying it a 3rd time, but then it gets said a 3rd time a little bit later. It's like how much time has to go by in between times for it to like reset.
Yeah, I wondered that too.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't
It's a campy
matter.
movie. It's actually probably better that those rules like aren't spelled out. Then you get like too bogged down in like the world building that it's just let it be what it is.
Yeah.
That, maybe the character was just like, I wonder what happens if I say it 3 times if it stops him as well as starts him. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
So fun though. The dinner scene is
That is
just classic.
the Deo scene.
Yes.
That is my favorite. That's so funny.
Yeah. Iconic.
Iconic. And Catherine O'Hara is just wonderful again.
Yeah.
She can do no wrong.
She can do no wrong.
But like the funny thing, so it's like again, not having seen the movie before, there's like things you just kind of know about the movie because it is such a like pop culture touchstone, and like not knowing what the scene was building up to, and like the shrimp. I'm like, why? Like I get it, it's Tim Burton, but like why the comically large puppet shrimp? And then you're like, oh, I get it because it was in fact a puppet. Because it was going to pay back later.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think, though, in general?
I think it holds up. I mean, yes, like Beetlejuice is, of questionable morals, but I think that is also the point, and the movie is not necessarily like applauding his behavior.
No.
Well,
but
he is,
I think
essentially the
he's our
bad guy.
psycho villain. Like he's not,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. But yeah, I think there were bits that I found very funny and clever, and I also just really love in certain instances such as this, going back to like really early days of like special effects and like just seeing how cheesy it looks. And like in Tim Burton's world, it like almost plays to the overall aesthetic, and it like works to the advantage of the film. So like I think that's always kind of fun to be like, wow, I wonder how cutting edge this looked in 1988. But yeah, I think I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as much as I hoped I was going to. Yeah, and I don't think coming into it as an adult took that much away from it.
Good.
To sort of counter, I worry that like, parts of Hocus Pocus maybe don't have that same allure to it. But even at the same point, we'll wait till we get there. I feel like my opinion on Hocus Pocus is changing by the millisecond.
Fair enough. Now, overall, I love this movie. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It was good.
Me say Deo. Daylight comes and me wanna go home.
And what's funny as an adult watching it is like, there are things about it that are like scary-ish, but it's never like,
right.
It's never really scary.
Yeah, it's done
as a kid, but it's never actually like, never feel like people are actually like in danger.
Yeah, because it's meant to be more campy than scary. Like it's funneled through a more comedic lens.
Yes.
And like is intentionally.
Because Beetlejuice is just so over the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the character himself is just so over the top that it's hard to, that it's not going to be a scary movie, like essentially.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I will say like the snake scene when the banister comes to life as a snake, like that's pretty rough. But that's another thing that like as a kid, that's really rough. Like that's scary.
That's true. Alex was watching with us, and he did hide under his blanket after that part.
Yeah, that's fair. But even sorry, finish your thought.
No, we were like, maybe you should just go downstairs and play.
Maybe you should just go do anything else.
But I really thought that the like scary quote unquote parts lasted a lot longer. And again, I think it was just like as a kid, that's how it felt. And then as an adult, it was like, nah.
Yeah.
Most of this is like singing and running around. And it's
overall ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was going to say, in watching, I sort of feel like the character that Michael Keaton was playing in Much Ado About Nothing, he was like bringing some like Beetlejuice energy.
Yes. Yes.
Now in hindsight, I feel like maybe the direction was like, remember what you did in Beetlejuice? Work with that.
Yeah. Beetlejuice, only British.
But like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And I feel like that maybe was the no. Like just go with that and see where it takes you.
I don't think you're wrong there. Good times. Any last thoughts on Beetlejuice before we move on?
I'm glad I finally watched it.
I am too. It's just so much fun. And I love that it has a happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next movie we watched was Hocus Pocus 2. Who wants to start?
No, go ahead, Shandy. You go.
I was nervous going into it. So I think one of the things that helped me was my expectations were like on the ground. Because as we talked about last year, it was like, why are they doing this? We don't need to do this. So I think overall, like, I thought it was actually really fun. I'm not a super huge fan of the ending,
Okay.
but I thought it was fun. I mean, it was kind of just like a remake of the other one, you know, with like an updated cast and like more modern storylines. I will say I was really impressed with the sisters, because that was the other thing, is like, it's been a really long time, 19 years, right?
Almost 30, 29.
29, 20.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. A child built in the early 90s is almost 30.
Right. Which one of the articles that I read was like, it's unclear why they didn't wait for like a clear 30, like an even 30. It's like, yeah, that is kind of weird. But anyway, so like 30 years later, almost, I was like, how they're supposed to look the same. Like, how is that? And I was actually kind of impressed that they kind of almost pulled it off, except for what's her name, Sarah
Jessica Parker's eyeline, like why did we need...
this
Yeah, it was the face. It was the eyes.
It was the eyes. It
Like
was not. She was the one that looked like she had aged the most, and it was not working.
And it was only because she had like the black eyebrows and the dark eyeliner. It was something looked different and different about that I think that they just easily could have fixed, but
they easily
It
could
was
have
just too much.
yeah.
I also thought her acting was the least convincing of the three. Like the other two, like acted like they're supposed. I mean, it's like you're reprising a role that, like, so.
And she
they
wasn't
haven't
even
changed.
She wasn't even given that much to do, to be honest. Like, because even the funny bit with the Roombas was not hers, right? That was Kathy and Jimmy's.
That was Kathy and Jimmy's bit.
Yeah.
Which was kind of brilliant.
I loved it. I thought that was hilarious. The Roombas. I was like, oh my God, I want a flying beep bop boop. 2 of them.
2 of them. A fleet of them.
A fleet of beep bop boops.
Yeah.
A fleet for your feet.
Okay, let's see. I loved it, actually. I'll be the voice of dissent here in a way. I truly had the best time watching it. I don't know. I took a gazillion notes. I laughed. I thought there were so many hilarious things. I was excited to see Hannah Waddington and Tony Hale and the dude from Ted Lasso who plays Edwin Akufu, the angry owner of the South African team that that throws a temper tantrum at the end after Sam decides. Yeah, that was him.
Oh shit!
I was like, I know this actor. And I was like, what do I know him from? And I was like, oh, that terrible Rebel Wilson movie. Senior year.
Oh,
he is the love interest in that.
Oh.
I didn't even make the Ted Lasso reference.
Yeah, it's from Ted Lasso.
Okay.
I loved Izzy and Becca. I loved the salt thing because I was a big Supernatural fan, and that's like the whole thing on Supernatural. They always solve that shit by just putting salt on things. So I was like, oh, these authors must have been a fan. These writers. I love that they came back with the dance number. I was just like, oh, this is the kind of movie. This is where we're going. All right, let's go.
Strong. Came in strong.
I love that one of them was like, I literally cannot stop watching them. I love that they tricked them with the Instagram filters to think they were looking younger.
Really
I thought that was hilarious.
That was really yeah.
I love that there was a Siri Alexa joke. I thought it was so campy, so just fun. But I didn't go in there thinking we were going to get a masterpiece because, I thought the first one was very cheesy, campy, having, seen it at a different age. So, for me, I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. It, hits the jokes. And what was the song that they had the flash mob do? Oh, one way or another.
Yeah. I mean, nothing can top the song that they sang in the first one. But
I know.
I Put a Spell on... Was it I Put a Spell on You?
It was I Put a Spell on You.
Yeah.
But I do like The Witches Are Back.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, because in my mind, I envision a scene where Bette Midler is like, guys, I'll just call Sir Elton and just see if he will give us the rights to do the song for the movie. Like, don't worry about it. And then in this fantasy in my mind, she calls Elton John on the phone and they talk it out. And it's like these two old bitches making some silly content for Disney.
That's true. I like your version too. I'm just going to pretend that it happened like that.
Yeah, that's just how I see it in my mind.
I do too now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Also last night, and Amanda, we might have talked about this, but I either realized for the first time or re-remembered for the first time last night, and my mind was blown for no reason whatsoever, that Sarah Jessica Parker and Bette Midler were in the First Wives Club together.
Yeah. We did not talk about it, but let's talk about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they super were.
They super were. She was the 12-year-old.
She was a
That
12-year-old.
Morty was dating. I love that movie so much. Okay, one day,
I
guys,
do too.
we have to do First Wives Club, My Cousin Vinny, like classics from that era.
Okay.
Like legit
I don't
classics
think I've seen
that I
First Wives
consider
Club.
classics. It's
So,
good.
I know.
It's fun.
And yeah, I'd be down.
Okay. You've seen My Cousin Vinny, right?
Well, so yes, but I don't really remember anything from it.
I wrote
It's
a
like-
paper on it when I got my paralegal certification. Thank you very much.
Well, and see that, like, if I had done something like that, then maybe I would remember it. The problem is if I see a movie once and don't like talk about it a lot with anyone.
Well, it is
then,
from, like,
10 years later, I will
1995,
understand
so-
nothing,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or I will remember nothing.
drifts
So,
into the attic of your mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's like technically I've seen it, but it's almost like I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, let's do it one of these months because it's one of my favorites. I watched it so many times growing up because it was one of my grandpa's favorite movies. And it's just as fun as First Wives Club, which love. I think it holds up. I'd like to say it holds up. I don't know if it
We can
does.
find out.
I haven't watched it in like 20 years, so it might not. But I'm gonna say it does.
Yeah. I feel like I watched it.
We can do an episode on it and we'll find out.
We'll find out. Anyway, First Wives Club, great movie. That was
Yep.
That was the movie where it has the famous scene at the end with Ivana Trump making the joke. Don't get mad, get everything. Talking about how get everything from Donald Trump, but like anyway. You make a face now, but you don't know because you haven't seen it. You don't know the context.
Some jokes will feel dated. I mean, you could say that of any movie. But yes, Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus, loved it.
Hocus Pocus.
I loved it. I really did. The end.
I am liking it more the more distance I get from it. Like at the end, well, no, I think when they like come back and start singing, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm gonna hate this. This is coming on way too strong. But then by the end, I'm just like, they're winning me over. Is this a movie I needed? Absolutely not. Is it like a very blatant money grab to get people to pay attention to the Disney app and like Disney's properties? Like, absolutely. Was it like very referential? Yes. But did it have a lot of really good bits? Yes, also. Yes. Did it try to overcorrect for the lack of diversity in the original? Sure did.
Yes.
Sure did. The unnecessary scene of the lovely, handsome gay couple watching TV at home on Halloween night. Did we need
They're watching Hocus Pocus.
Right. Like,
What the hell?
Yeah. Like,
Doesn't make sense.
doesn't make sense. But by the end, I was like, you know what? I didn't hate the time I spent watching this movie. It had its moments.
Yeah.
It was funny. I agree. The young girls were really, really enjoyable. I really liked that direction, that like there was no love interest, that it was just about these girls and their friendships, and like it felt really authentic to like what I imagine life as a teenager nowadays is like. I wouldn't know, but how I'd like to imagine it would be. So I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it again next year and see if I have any. If I grow warmer towards it, because I didn't realize that the first movie super tanked when it came out, And it has sort of become popular and a cult classic. I mean, as all cult classics do in the subsequent years after its box office release. So I feel like if that is the case, this movie is well on its way to following a similar trajectory.
Yeah.
I agree.
I do have lingering questions, and I understand that they're just not going to be answered.
But much like Beetlejuice, these movies aren't made for questions.
But lingering, like, fundamental questions about when you are transformed into a statue and then burst into dust. That seems pretty final. So how do you come back 29 years later? And then when it happens again, like, because they've been saying, like, oh, there could be a third one.
That was actually my last note here is end credits. Are we getting a trilogy? Question mark.
Yeah.
I kind of hope not. I feel like it wasn't a great explanation, but like it was like logical adjacent. So you could kind of like excuse it.
As most campy
They tried to
movies
explain
are.
it. Like, whatever, let's just keep watching. Let's go with it. But I feel like if you try and do it again, it's gonna be like, oh, no, guys, we can't keep doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. And Bette Midler lost all of her, like, wonderful, delicious evilness at the end, which is what I did not like.
But you
enjoy seeing her cry over. I love the sisterhood.
Yes.
I did not enjoy seeing her cry over the sisters.
But it came full circle in the end. With the whole reason that they were witches to begin with was because her two sisters were in danger. And she saved them and ran off into the woods. So at the end, when she was tested, she still had that little bit of humanity left where she might still be evil, but she still cared about her sisters. You know, that was what she valued the most. And I don't know, I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah, I think if you don't think too hard about it, it's satisfying.
Yeah.
Like,
because I wasn't super a huge fan of the backstory that they gave them anyway. Like that whole part.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't need that at all.
So
agreed. Although I did need Hannah Waddington. So I wish we had more
that
of her.
goes without saying.
More of her in the movie, less of the backstory.
Yeah. Although, did you guys? I had completely missed this part that the bird is
her,
Hannah Waddington.
Yeah.
I missed that completely. Daniel,
they show her changing into it.
Yep, yeah. I clearly was on my phone. I was not. I missed it. I completely missed it. So when you see the bird at the end, I was like, "Why is the bird there again?" And Daniel's like, "Really?" Okay, so it was a very obvious thing. I missed it. Okay, guys, don't text and watch a movie.
No, nothing.
It's a little PSA from me to watch the damn movie. Put your phone down.
I did love the end credit scenes though. The walk at the end. The witches are back sequence that you mentioned. Like, I don't know. I thought it was really fun. Did anybody else catch Bette Midler saying bye-bye?
Sure didn't.
I'm pretty sure it was her. I just wrote down bye-bye in capital letters. Right after I wrote down she valued her sisters the most, cry-y face. So I assume that it was Bette Midler that said bye-bye. But yeah, I was very much like, oh my God, she listens to Maggie's voicemail.
That's kind of how her sister says bye-bye.
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 I also liked the comedy of the door opening automatically.
Oh, that was
yeah.
She must be so powerful. Really Did you like that in the end she actually was a witch but didn't realize it? Or did you want it to kind of be like she was a normie that had just used her own wits to, like, instead of special powers?
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
I think it was kind of a clever addition. I feel like that is also, like, if they were gonna go for a third movie, like, sort of laying groundwork for, like, the next generation.
Yeah.
Because, the Sanderson sisters are, like, you can't keep bringing them back.
Yeah.
You can only turn to dust or particles so many times.
Did you like seeing God, what was his name? The zombie.
Oh yeah,
Billy
Billy.
Butcherson?
yeah,
I did.
yeah.
Did
More
anybody
backstories and more,
Did anybody notice that the stitches on Billy's mouth look like they spelled out kink?
I did not
Nope.
notice that.
Sure didn't.
I kept trying. I was like, it really looks like kink. What an Easter egg.
In a movie ripe with Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So many.
So many.
So many. The Madonna costume coming through the crowd. There was
I think I missed that.
I think I missed
Yeah.
that too.
in like the mob where they were basically just doing a ripoff of the Thriller dance.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Through the
yeah,
streets of
100%,
Salem.
Yeah.
One of them was dressed up like the mom from the first
Nice,
movie with the
yeah.
Madonna cones. There was something else that was like really like, okay, guys, we get it. We get it.
See, I love that shit. I love that stuff so much because, I don't know. I go to watch these to they're all popcorn movies to me where you just,
Yeah.
I want to shout out, have a good time, laugh, be like, ha ha, I get that joke. Because it makes you feel good when you get an inside joke.
It's true.
Just makes your heart a little bit happier.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. I would say overall fun. Again, I had really low expectations. And so, I was pleasantly surprised.
Same.
yeah,
Overall, I would still say fun. Glad I saw it.
there we go.
Same.
Yeah, same. The only other, did you guys watch anything else?
I wish I could tell you I did.
I mean, I've been watching the latest season of What We Do in the Shadows as it comes. So I've technically been caught up for it. It wrapped a while ago. That's been fun. I will say I think they're more fun to binge. So
Yeah,
you guys are doing it right.
they are more fun to binge.
It's funnier
And by binging, you mean watching one episode every 3 weeks. That's what you mean by binging.
Okay. But just if you can binge, I think that's better than the one episode a week
That's what I would binge.
format.
Mm.
So, I don't know. I might go back at some point and watch the last season as a season altogether. It was fun, but it's you don't, by the next week,
You've kind of forgotten.
you lose some. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And I still want to go back and watch the original movie that it's all based
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
That's fun too.
I was kind of hoping to be able to put that in for our this chat, and I just didn't get to it.
There's
Oh,
always
Halloween.
next Halloween.
Yeah, there's next Halloween.
Since the Munsters was so bad, I ended up going on Netflix and looking at their top 10 trending things right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was a movie called The Curse of Bridge Hollow. And I was like, all right, it's an hour and a half. It looks like, a Halloween Hallmark movie. Let me check this out. But then when I Googled it, it did not have great reviews. So I ended up starting The Watcher instead, which was, we talked about this last week. It's based on a true story. It happened in New Jersey in 2014. A family that moves into a house in a very wealthy neighborhood in New Jersey, and they get these threatening letters. I remember hearing about it back when they made what was going on public in 2018-ish. It was, I feel like it was around the time when Alex was a baby. Mm-hmm. And then I had kind of forgotten about it, and then I listened to the Generation Y podcast, and they did an episode last year covering it. And I was like, oh yeah, I do vaguely remember this. They get these creepy, threatening notes. It goes on for a couple of years until they finally move. But just the whole story is ridiculous. So The Watcher, they use the characters are the family is based on real characters. The notes that they read, that they get, the threatening things are real, but everything else is Hollywood Liberty. So there's new characters, and my understanding is that they give a resolution to the story, and I haven't gotten that far. I've only watched 3. That they give a resolution to the story when the real life culprit they never caught. But where's the fun in that? I guess in a TV series. Right. But I don't know. I'm into it. I'm gonna watch till the end. I think there's only 7 episodes. That's an easy commitment.
That is
So-
a hard pass for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super
Close
creepy.
to home.
I applaud
Close
you.
to
but-
home. Yeah.
It's super creepy, and the fact that it happened in real life and these people like
Yeah,
stayed in their
exactly.
house for years despite getting threats and things like clear break-ins, and like there was allegedly like secret tunnels in the house, and like
Oh my god.
super fucking creepy. I re-downloaded the Generation Y episode this afternoon actually. I'm gonna re-listen to it. It's almost 10 o'clock now as we're recording, so I probably will not watch another one tonight, but I'm going to re-listen to in the morning that episode, just, I don't know, to spoil myself, even though I know what happens, but you know what I mean. And I'm sure there's podcasts that actually, dig into the entire thing, since, it was a big deal during podcast era. But anyway, I recommend it, I guess. I know Erin said that she could not get through the first episode because the creative liberties taken were too much since it happened in the town where her brother lives. Totally understand that. Totally understand.
No.
I'm going to keep going, though.
Oh my god.
The other one that I was going to watch, so it was between that Shadow Matter one, and there was another one called The Midnight Club, and apparently it's about, it's like got great reviews, but it looked too depressing, so that's why I didn't pick it. It's about a group of kids who are living in a hospital for terminally ill, adolescents, and they make a pact with each other to, I guess whoever dies has to try to like make contact with the kids that are left or something, which I was like, okay, this might be intriguing, but I don't know if I'm like emotionally available for this, since I've got to steer up for Handmaid's Tale soon. But then I read a review on it. It was non-spoilery. It had more plot details than I'm giving now, though, where apparently there's like some really good side plots that isn't like on the Netflix description. And the author of the review said that they went in dreading that it was going to be like a really depressing, like tearjerker, but it actually is really good and well done with good performances. So I don't know. I might watch that. I'll let you know.
Yeah, it keeps popping up on my my Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, things to watch, and I'm like, I don't think so.
They must like really think it's good, because they keep like pushing it on me too.
Yeah,
They're like, this is the number 4 streaming one for the day.
yeah. I think that's because it's like now they have that stupid carousel. Where it's just like, here's all the top rated things. It's like, Netflix. I don't want to be like everybody else.
But I also want to know what everybody else is talking about at the same
But I also
time.
don't want to be super lame and have no idea what the rest of the world is doing. So fine.
Goodbye. I want to just read the comments later. So I can form my own opinion based on those.
Based on the comments. To form my own opinion based on other people's opinions. Without having actually watched the thing.
Oh, that's how you know that we're getting into old millennial territory.
Get off my lawn.
All right, well, I'll let you know if I do end up watching that. I also really want to watch Alaska Daily, which is the Hillary Swank one, because there's billboards everywhere, all
There
up
are
and down
billboards
Glenwood.
everywhere.
I'm like, why
Yeah.
is this show that good?
The trailer is very good. I kept getting like promos for it when I was watching, I guess, the last episode of What We Do in the Shadows that I watched. That was because I believe is on Hulu. It's an ABC show. No,
Yes.
it's going to be on Disney.
I don't know,
Yes,
but
no.
I think Hulu is how I've watched What We Do in the Shadows.
Right.
Yeah.
That's, but like Alaska Daily, I think is also available on Hulu. Is what I'm saying. So like they were pushing it, and the promos were very good. I was like, oh, this is what it's about. I'm pretty interested.
I am kind of interested too, so we'll see what I do next.
It's a lot of stuff.
All right, speaking of, let's take a quick break and we will get into the feedback. Here we go. All right, we are back. We are ready to get into some feedback. The first bit of feedback is from JP, and he wants to know, Amanda, I would love to know what your opinion of Beetlejuice the movie versus Beetlejuice the musical.
I might like the musical better.
More songs?
I've only seen the musical the one time, and I'm a sucker for a musical. It was a very enjoyable night at the theater.
But you've also only seen the movie one time.
Yeah, but I've also only seen the movie one time.
Very confusing.
And that was an enjoyable evening on my couch. So
We know theater trumps couch anytime.
I think it does, especially, it was good company. It was, it was the experience of theater. I think, now having seen the movie, I think it was a very clever adaptation.
Yeah.
I normally don't love the here was a popular movie. Let's make a musical out of it. But I think I will make an exception in this case because I thought it was very well done and I very much enjoyed it. And now having seen the movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
enjoyed it a little more.
We're taking the kids on December 4th or 5th to see Elf the musical. It's coming to DPAC. And then Beetlejuice is coming to DPAC too. And I asked Jay if he wanted to see it, and he said no. So if anyone wants to come see Beetlejuice with me at DPAC, I'll get us tickets. Holler.
I think you should go. It was enjoyable.
Okay.
Go by yourself. I went to a Broadway musical by myself once. It was not as awkward as you think it was. It was a nice take myself out kind of evening.
I go to the movies by myself on the regular. Yeah. As long as you give me a beer or something, I will just sit there and mind my business.
Yeah.
I won't try to talk to you, stranger person next to me. I'll just occupy myself.
And it's kind of nice because you actually have time. You're there by yourself, so you have time to actually read the program. That's always I like to read the program when I go see a Broadway show. And then when you go to sit with someone else, you have to talk to them. So I never get to read the program.
It's a fair point.
Yes.
Next bit of feedback is from Greg. He said, for the record, I am right-handed. So starting with my left shoe feels odd, but it feels right to me. I feel it enough that if I pick up my right shoe first, I will put it down and do the left first. Interesting. Honestly, I think that's, again, I paid attention this week. So mascara, I do switch hands.
Yep.
Unless I'm just doing a touch-up, I notice that if I have to touch it up, I'll do the flip thing because I just need to, do I got a little clump here, or I missed a little spot there. But when I'm applying for the first time, I switch hands. I pay attention to that, and I pay attention to my shoes, and I do also vary it as well. I do vary it, so I was not crazy with that.
Nice.
Jessica says, great episode talking about our OMG GBF. Right? No, G? No?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. GBF. AKA our episode with Kulki. Great episode. It was great to hear Kulki again. I miss his voice. To clear things up for Rob, he did and does know my name. We knew that, Jessica. You guys had all hung out together in person for years. Just that episode, he was trying to say Jaylyn and Jessica at the same time, and somehow it came out as Jennifer, and the rest is history.
Obviously.
And then Rob came into the comments and was like, thank you for clearing my name. We love you, Rob.
Oh, Rob.
All right. Now we've got some Math What She Said.
I'm not coming.
Don't clean those off until you absolutely have to, because nature will do its thing if you just let it.
Oh, it's over? I'm used to these things just going on.
Still in the same position.
Starting from the bottom and going top?
Someone earned their bonus.
We could have been doing it now.
The last time we did it, it threw me off for the rest of the week.
How many buttons are on that thing? Are we talking about a Kate Middleton dress? Have you ever paid attention that Kate Middleton, her dresses and coat dresses are just covered in buttons? I saw a Twitter thread once where they were just posting pictures of her outfits and counting the buttons, and some of them had 30 buttons. And I was like, fuck,
wow.
They're right. That woman wears a lot of buttons. Anyway, sorry.
I did not notice that. But now I will pay attention.
I can't not see it now. Truly, I can't. I cannot not see it ever since I saw that Twitter thread. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Do you have to talk through the whole thing?
Minor backstory there. I came.
Okay, that's it. We're done. You know what? That's we have reached the best Match What She Said ever.
I think we can stop. I think we have to retire after that. That was pretty good.
story there. Yeah, we're done. We're done. That's it. I can't.
We're gonna go out on
We're gonna
top.
go on top. There's no way it's on that one. Hey, I never pointed out when we were talking about the movie that there's really only 2.5 choices for an episode title. And that would be direct quotes from the Hocus Pocus movie, Resting Witch Face, and Gothic Golden Girls. And if we're going sentimental, the Broadcast Coven. Because a witch is nothing without her coven.
Yeah.
So we learned.
That was another thing that tied us all back from the beginning to the end. But anyway, think about it. We'll take a vote on Thursday. Okay, sorry. All right. Whew. We've got some emails. Here we go. Does anybody want to read Matt's movie email?
Sure. Matt wrote in about Halloween movie feedback. Hey, broads. This feedback is super last minute as Hocus Pocus 2 is playing while I'm writing this. I thought I'd have an extra day, but oh well. Hey, me too.
So did Shandy. At like 8:20, she's like, fuck, we're recording in 10 minutes. And we were like, see ya.
I can't say what I've seen of the sequel has won me over, but I know I'm not in the target audience, which is people who think the original is a good movie.
Ooh,
Shots are fired. A big part of this one is about that fandom, especially since this movie owes its existence entirely to the following this film has gotten in the past 30 years. While my grade is incomplete from the hour and change I saw, I'll say I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it either.
kind of how I felt about the Munsters.
I've seen Beetlejuice a few times, and I remember watching the cartoon as a kid. Oh,
right.
if only I could find those action figures I also had.
Oh, SJ, I'm sure he has them in a pile somewhere. And I mean that with all sincerity.
I don't know what else I can add to the conversation besides it's still a lot of fun, although things like the headhunter bit wouldn't fly today. Not to mention getting past Jeffrey Jones's creepy ass.
Dude, Jeffrey Jones. Wait, before we move on from this, because I meant to say this before, did you know that he was arrested and spent time in jail for child porn? I think, no, soliciting a minor.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, continue.
Wow.
Let sit on that for a little while.
Yeah. All right. Otherwise, it has a lot of the touchstones that put Tim Burton on the map, and seeing Winona Ryder in only her third movie. Oh. You could tell she was just getting started. For some other recommendations, I know I probably won't top last year's What We Do in the Shadows recommendation, but here are two. Over the Garden Wall on Hulu and HBO Max for now. This quick miniseries, 10 episodes, about 11 minutes each. Ooh.
Oh, even better. It's like Bluey for adults.
It is about two brothers who find themselves lost in a mysterious forest. It probably would be okay for Zach and Alex to watch. This is a visually distinct, weird trip. Tucker and Dale versus Evil on Amazon. On the other end is this R-rated parody about two buddies looking to have a fun weekend at their cabin in the woods, but due to several misunderstandings, a group of college kids they run into are convinced that they are murder hillbillies. Interesting. Funny, clever send-up of that cabin in the woods genre film, and while bloody, is probably still a lot more palatable to the squeamish crowd. That's all I can get in for now, which may be TWSS. So happy Halloween and happy watching.
I'm into checking out both those recommendations. Thank you. I really like Cabin in the Woods, that random fucking weird movie. Did you guys see that movie?
No.
Okay, it's is it Chris Hemsworth? One of the Chris's. Is it Thor? I don't know. One of them was in it. Anyway, it's from like 10 years ago. I enjoyed it. It's a horror movie.
Huh.
But yeah, no, super into this Over the Garden Wall thing, especially because it's 11 minutes.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That's pretty great.
Again, Bluey for adults. Amanda, are you guys into Bluey yet? It's so great. I'm so excited for you to be into Bluey. It's the only children's show out there that parents like watching probably more than their kids. Universally accepted.
So I have heard. I feel
good.
like every parent that's like further along on their parenting journey than I am has said that about Bluey.
And
We are still solidly in Sesame Street land.
Okay.
We haven't really deviated from that
It's
yet.
definitely more of the like 2, 3, 4-year-old crowd, but it's so good. Like, it's so good. We discovered it when it first came on, and I feel like we've told a million people about it. Just like Encanto, we saw it when it was in movie theaters before it was streaming, and we were just like, oh guys, you gotta go see this movie. And then it was streaming, and then everybody was like, have you guys seen this movie? And we're like, yes, motherfuckers, we saw this a month ago.
We told you about it.
We were talking about Bruno before it was cool to.
Where can one watch Bluey?
It's on Disney Plus.
Okay.
But they're 7 minutes each. It's about 2 sisters. They're blue healers. And it's just wonderful. Like, the amount... I think Jay has the record in his house for people who have cried the most amount of times during episodes. Because I know, big surprise, the guy that whenever he needs to get emotions out, rewatches Parks and Rec when Leslie and Ben get married, just so he can feel feels and feel better again. True story. This is true in our house. I'm like, oh, this is on. Are you doing okay? Is everything okay? What's going on?
Do you need a hug?
You need a hug, don't you? When ET goes on, I'm like, oh, do we need to talk about something? What's really bothering you? Thanks for the recommendations, Matt. We will check them out.
Indeed.
And then we have an email from Drake. And he says, Ghost Story, Part 3, Return of the Ghost. Hello, brats! So something completely out of left field happened that I would never have imagined. The woman from a little over a month ago hit me up after midnight to come get her from her parents' house. So I do, because I said I'd always help her if she needed me. I take her to my place and she just wants to cuddle and lay on the couch. Then she wants to go to sleep in the bed. One thing leads to another, and we fuck a few times. I check my phone later, and her mom texted me that she just got out of a mental health facility on Monday and was suicidal, and to watch her. I took her back to her parents in the afternoon, and her mom was very thankful she was okay. I really want to get her better. I really want her to get better, but I don't want her to think I'm her savior and her way back to the light. I will do whatever I can to help her parents get the help she needs, but going forward, it will be hard to not be with her physically without some guilt in thinking I am doing the wrong thing or taking advantage of her. And then the final update that he has is, hello, broads. After the escapades that occurred in my last update, I found out that a lot of information that was somewhat hard to swallow, but I had to swallow it all the same. To make a long story short, I was talking to her mother, and I was not her only boyfriend, and she has basically been lying about everything to everyone. Her mom spoke to her husband, and they both understand that I was one of her victims. But I seem to actually care about her well-being and didn't just want to fuck her and dump her like the others. She basically lied to him and at least 2 other guys over the past few years about what she was doing or who she was with. Her husband, who holds no grudge against me, let me know they have never been separated or had any divorce papers drafted until now. She tried to kill herself the day after she was with me, and part of me did feel guilty because I didn't let her stay with me, but now she is finally getting the help she needs and is back home with her kids. I do not plan on continuing contact with her and just want her to continue getting help and be there for her children. I've always had trust issues with people, especially ones that want to be in a relationship with me, and I think this is only going to make my trust issues worse. I think sometimes my desire to be wanted and loved by someone blinds me to the red flags because I don't think I can do better than someone who is emotionally damaged or unhappy in their life. Drake.
Oh,
I know, that's so tough, Drake, and I hope that you typing that out loud to us indicates that some part of you realizes that this isn't true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I could see, though, how that would not help with trust issues. I'm glad that she's getting the help that she needs. It sounds like it was a super fucked up situation, and I'm glad that you're not involved anymore because it doesn't sound like it's good for anyone. And I hope that you can trust somebody else.
And I hope that she continues to get serious about getting the help that she needs because sounds like she needs a lot of
A
help.
lot of help.
Yeah.
A lot of help. And I hope that her children are in a situation that is not going to have negative impacts on them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry that happened to you, and I hope that you know that that is not indicative of your worth or anything like that, other than like you are a good person, and her parents and her husband recognize that.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, and obviously keep us updated with, you know, anything in the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or just send us an email for fun.
Yeah.
That too.
All right, then we will finish this with an update from Andy or two.
Yeah. We're a slight backlog on Andy. It's a weird thing to say. Okay. And Andy says, "Hey, broads. He's taking another week, the coworker. So what are the odds that he's coming back? By now, I'm thinking 10% or less. Hashtag I'm with hers, Andy."
Oh no. I have
And
a
then
feeling
another-
we're gonna find out.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the stunning conclusion. Da-da-da. Hey, broads. Well, it's been a few weeks, and he's still not back. I got the feeling from the last time I talked to my manager that even she doesn't know what's going on with him.
Hell.
I can't promise anything, but I should really try and have a serious talk with my boss about this this week. Wish me luck. Hashtag I'm with hers, Andy. Good luck, Andy. I
yes,
hope it
good luck.
works out. This is ridiculous, but
Yeah.
we are with you. We are with you in this time.
Hashtag get that raise.
Where
Yeah,
the fuck
for
do you
real.
work that people could just disappear?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
And still, like, in theory, have a job waiting for them.
Yeah.
If it depends on the company's handbook, and if it's because it's like mental health, companies
Sure.
their hands are a little tied. Like if
Yeah.
you say you're on some kind of medical leave.
Yeah. Which is good. Fair.
But still, this is the second
good point.
time in a
Good
row.
point. Yes. Yes.
So that's where I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it's just very unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, best of luck, Andy.
Yes.
Best of luck.
Best of luck.
Super
Get that
excited for
raise.
hearing about whenever the dude comes back.
Right. Oh, man.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody that submitted some feedback. If you'd like to submit some feedback, you can email us, thebroadcasters3@gmail.com, or give us a call, 331-276-2373, or just leave us a comment on Facebook. I hope that everybody is having a nice week so far. Let's go Padres. Beat the Phillies. I got heckled by somebody at Upstate State Park yesterday. I was wearing my Padres hat, and he was like, literally, got out of my car to walk, and he was pulling his car out. He stops in the middle of Ebenezer Church Road, which makes only like two of you out there will know what this means. But he stops in the middle of this like busy one-lane road, and he's like, "What hat is that?" And I was like, "Padres." He was like, "Oh yeah, Phillies are gonna fucking get you guys. Let's go Phillies!" And I was just like, and then so I don't know if you are familiar. Anybody out there, the goose, there was a goose that landed on the field during an LA game, and now San Diego has taken that and like made it into a whole big thing. So he was like, "We're gonna murder that fucking duck." And I was like, I knew he meant goose, so I just shouted, I was like, "Let's go Padres, the goose is coming for you." And he just drove off. But like, I was like, I just got heckled by somebody randomly stopped their car in the middle of the street to yell at me.
Yeah, people take sports really seriously.
But on the other hand, it was also really
Arguably
fun.
a little too serious.
it never ceases to confuse me
Yeah.
or to astound me.
Yelling at strangers, like,
Yeah.
don't you have anything more valuable to do with your day?
And you don't know the difference between a duck and a goose?
That was
People like roast
I
duck. Others prefer goose.
I was so tickled by that.
Anyway.
And then I was meeting
Anyone
a
watching
friend,
House of the Dragon? No.
and she isn't
Sorry.
very-
No, too much, too gory. Can't do it.
Just slip that in there. Some of the listeners will get it.
Anyway, good times. All right, let's go Padres. I don't know. This season, by the time you guys hear this in 5 days, it could be all over, and that would be embarrassing. But I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to leave this in.
Just put it out into the
Into the ether.
yeah.
Just hit a home run into the universe.
Exactly.
Fly ball.
Play ball. All right. Can't wait to see everybody next Tuesday at 9 o'clock sharp. We are going to meet before 9. So we are hitting go on the Zoom at 9 o'clock. So be there or be square. Come in your costumes. Tuesday the 25th.
That's a perfectly great costume.
What a good point.
Totally.
Maybe I'll just be a square. Maybe I'll be a square and Jay can be a circle and I can just try to keep fitting into him. Although I guess it'd be funnier if it was the other way around. If I was the circle and he was the square. That'd be funny and dirty. Like a funny, dirty math joke.
I really like it. I think you
I
found
knew
it.
you were going to think of something.
I knew I was
going
gonna
to think of something. I had faith in you.
So good.
We'll figure it out. Oh, sweet Jesus. All right. On that note, everybody, thank you for listening. Super excited. It's going to be the same Zoom link that we use every week. Every time we do this. I hope it's still there. It's our personal meeting room, so I'm assuming it's still there. It's been a little while.
Not, we will figure something else out.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, stay tuned. Get your costumes. See you soon. All right, on that note, thanks everybody for listening. Thank you to the patrons, especially the ones that contribute a certain level. Eckhart Rigner, Tack from Tokyo, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week, live in person, in your costumes. On that note, my name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
The witches are back.
I don't know why I waved.